It's finally time, y'all. After such a long wait, we are finally getting Cygnus Remaster, Extreme Boss Modes, Monster Park Extreme, Extreme Field, and Odium. The time has come. That's a freaking lie. I'm going through some old scenes that I have on this OBS. Hey, look, guys, the Destiny update is coming. We're getting Destiny 2.0. But all jokes aside, the winter patch is coming, and I think it is about time to review myself. No parkour chair action going on, because if I were to do that today, my chair would break into a million pieces, because this chair ain't built for that no more. We're way past those days. But anyway, here I come. Come on now. Like, I'm gonna wear the full suit in a video like this. You better catch the damn stream. You get a preview. The tie. You get the tie. That's it. That's all you get. What is up, guys? This is Kobe here, and welcome to the video talking about the winter showcase of this year, which is, they didn't even give a name for it yet. Usually they give out names before these updates. Well, I don't think they mentioned Savior. Did they mention Savior before Savior happened? I know they talked about Destiny, they talked about Ignition, they talked about New Age, you know, all that stuff, but I'm not sure they ever mentioned Savior or the current update we have now, because it's just Lucid Dream Festa. That's not the name of the update. I mean, if that's the name of the update, then that's weird, but I guess. But it's Lucid Dream Festa at Lotta World. I know that's not how you say Latte World, but I'm gonna call it Lotta World because it makes things a little faster for me. So I'm gonna make this video real quick. I think at the time I'm recording this, we got about 6 hours. 6 hours to the actual showcase, and I haven't even suited up for it yet, but I'm about to do so after I finish this video and get this video out, so you already know the time is coming. I'm going to be talking about my predictions, what I would expect to come in this patch. I'll talk about things that are guaranteed to come. Like, there is information about this patch we already know and what we are fully expecting to see, but clearly it will be a terrible showcase if we already knew about everything that's gonna happen in this patch. Why even have a showcase to begin with if we're not going to announce anything we don't know about? So anyway, the time has come. First things first, I believe one of the first things they will showcase in the winter update are the new mastery cores for 6th Job. In New Age, 6th Job came with the skill core, which was the origin, the mastery core, which was the boosted 1st and 4th job skills, and then the 5th job boost nodes, the enhancement cores and stuff like that. And then on the bottom right of 6th Job, we have common cores, which they did not make at all. But they are going to make those two in this patch, but for the sake of them being so completely random and they could possibly be anything, I'm not gonna sit here and try to predict what common cores we're gonna get. We just know we're gonna get them. I don't know, we're just gonna have to figure it out. So I believe the stream will begin with just, you know, the general 6th Job expansion updates with the new mastery cores. Hopefully they dive into hyper skills as well, because I know there's some classes like Dual Blade that will probably benefit if they got Hexa Azura or something like that. That'd be really cool for them, you know, clean stuff. But all in all, I hope what they do is they actually did mention that when it comes to job balancing, they're not going to do the general job balancing that they usually do. They're going to balance classes further with 6th Job updates in the future. So if a class is currently broken in the game right now, it is very likely that in this update they're about to bring, the really broken classes will get terrible mastery cores. They'll get bad mastery cores, and then the classes that are kind of falling off, lacking a little bit of damage, they'll get the better mastery cores. So we'll see how all that works out. So let's take Night Lord for example. if Night Lord, if they think Night Lord is falling off, you know, lacking a bit, they'll probably give them marks, you know, hexa marks or whatever, mark of the Assassin 6 or whatever your mark skill is called. But if they think they're doing a phenomenal right now in the game, then they're probably going to end up boosting something like Showdown or the hyper skill that is really, I don't even know if Night Lords ever use that attack in hyper skill. They might boost that too. Shoot, like I feel like it really all depends on how classes are performing in the current moment, and this is how they will do their balancing going forward. So if you're playing an OP class, I probably would not expect a good Mastery Core. However, I know Night Lord's like really good on GMS because your attack speed is different and how damage output works for classes on KMS. I don't think you have to be too worried about what could possibly come for Night Lord. I think the classes I need to be really worried right now are Fire Poison and Angelic Buster. Those are the two top classes that are busting everything down with basically no gear. Those classes are absolutely insane. And then lastly, they also mentioned the removal of Monster Life on top of a brand new system, which nobody even knows what this new system is. We're gonna be getting a good look at whatever is going to happen with this system in this showcase here tonight, hopefully. So they'll talk about that, they'll talk about when it will release, and they're going to be bringing that in for Reg server and for Reboot as well. So Reboot is getting this new system, even though they did not have Monster Life before, but Reg is losing Monster Life. So that's a damage gain for Reboot, right? Probably not. Because what they had mentioned in their previous stream in November for the Angelic Buster remaster, implementing the system into reboots, they are going to have to make some adjustments to certain things. And I think the number one thing they are going to change is that they are probably going to nerf the final damage passive. Now, this isn't confirmed, this is a prediction on my part, but I feel like this is a highly likely outcome, because of the whole Reg server reboot vendetta on KMS and making Reboot look like a bit of a less appealing server to Reg, albeit Reboot has been closed off to the public for new accounts for the past 6 months. They still haven't opened it back up yet. They don't want reboots, or players don't want Reboot to have all that damage for free. Nexon sees it and they're like, yeah, you're right, I think we might have made Reboot a little too overpowered with this final damage buff, but at the same time we can't just take the damage away from them, right? It's a bit too late. So instead of taking the damage away from them, you still take the damage away from them, but you implement a new system to where they can get that damage back. And if we're really thinking positive on this one, they might get some extra damage on top of it. Like I'm hoping, and I'm hoping it is going to be an overall net gain in how much damage you deal with this new system that's coming out. But at the same time, if you don't do it, you're gonna be weaker. You're gonna be weaker if you don't do it, because they're looking for a way to nerf a Reboots while also not exactly nerfing them at all, because it would be absolutely horrendous. So overall, I just hope at the very bare minimum it is the same as we are right now in terms of how much damage Reboot deals. But because it is a new system, and usually new systems mean we get stronger, I think we might be a tiny bit stronger on Reboots, but that's just my little cope. Lastly, I think it's time they release a new boss. It's about that time of the year. Every single year since January 2021, January, February, every single year since 2021, we've gotten a new in-game boss. In 2021, we got Saren. 2022, we got Kalos. 2023, we got Kaling. In 2024, well, I think it's either going to be Reyna or Limbo, but more than likely Limbo. If you do not know who these two are, Reyna is the apostle that shows up in the Arteria storyline at level 280. You fight her at the end. I don't think you win. Now, you definitely don't win, as far as I remember. Also, these spoilers, by the way. You probably... My bad. I really should have said something beforehand. It's too late now. So yeah, we don't beat Reyna, so Reyna's still out there. So we're probably gonna have some more lore involving Reyna. So she might be a new boss going forward. If it's not Reyna, it's gonna be Limbo. Limbo is another apostle of Darmor that we run into with Carcion, and we also fight him in Carcion. But I think with his I I guess the interaction he had with Kira, he ended up getting knocked out, not dead, but knocked out. And the person who came to get him to flee from the battlefield was none other than Havoc himself, the Apostle of Lightning. That dude came back after Cernium, and he just picked up Limbo and left. So Limbo might be coming back out after us, so we gotta look out. I do not think they'll make both of these bosses in the same update because, well, they're trying to make the bosses pretty complex, and as far as I'm concerned, they are too busy working with many other things to try to make these new bosses. So they can only really do like one good, really nice design in-game boss every year, which, to be honest, I'm perfectly fine with, because Cowling was really well made. I think Cowling might actually be, party-wise, my favorite boss in the game. They threw it down with Cowling, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do next with support in-game bosses. The reward from the boss that we get is going to be another piece of Eternal, 6 set, and the 6 set effect is 30% boss damage. That's a lot of boss damage. Now, I do not think we're getting gloves, because gloves are the most expensive to cube because of critical damage lines, and people want to go after those lines, whether it's double or double line or double crit damage with stat or even triple crit, but just because of how costly those are, and they have acknowledged that from the player frustration that came with the Destiny patch when they announced the level 250 equips to begin with, I think they're going to release gloves last. So we are probably either going to get shoe or cape next, 50-50 either or. If we do get gloves next, I'll be very surprised. In the Angelic Buster stream, they also talked about adding new ways or new types of equipment, maybe? I'm not sure if I interpreted that wrong, but it was something along the lines of that. So if they were actually serious about that, then I could potentially scrap the idea of them releasing an in-game boss, and they might release another mid-game boss, and they could potentially expand on the Dawn set. Either way, I really think a boss is going to come. We could get both the mid-game and an in-game boss. We could get other boss difficulties. However, I don't want more boss difficulties. I want a new boss off the rip. Extreme Black Mage is fun and all, but I want to see some newly designed bosses. Those are always fun to look at. It could literally be anything like, you know, Guardian Angel Mushroom or whatever they want to add. Hopefully, I think the Guardian Angel Mushroom is kind of lazy. I hope they have some sort of unique taste that I'm not really too creative with at the moment, but a new boss would be nice to see. And then lastly, the thing that I did not bring up earlier with 6 job stuff is that I think we're going to be getting a second Hexastat core. So we have the current Hexastat core, which we level up to 20 with the fragment and stuff like that. I think we'll be able to get another one for a bit of extra damage. So that's really about it. This update will most certainly have power creep. It was already revealed when we knew we were going to get second mastery cores and comment cores in this patch, that power creep is coming. So it would be cool if we get second hexastat core as well, and then maybe this new system that we get that replaces monster life will be a net gain for both reg and reboots. Because anytime we lose a system and it gets replaced by a new one, the new one usually gives us more damage. Usually. Now, I mean, we need to get this damage somehow because they release Extreme Kalos and Extreme Cowling, and those bosses are far from possible currently. Even with the strongest players in the game, they can barely clear hard mode Cowling. Like, it's crazy. And then normal mode Cowling solo is only getting barely done by like one fire poison mage. There might be more people at the current time, but as far as I'm concerned, normal Cowling has only been soloed by one dude, and it's just some fire poison. So we are definitely destined to see some power creep, and I think that's it. So that's not too much of what you'd expect from a winter patch, but I think you'll be fine. I think on top of that, there might be some like quality stuff, like just general game improvements all around the board. More EXP from dailies, of course. You might see grandest monster parks make an entry, like Cernium, Burning Cernium, Arcus. I doubt they would add the whole roster now, but if they start working on it slowly, that'd be cool. Because I hardly really do Monster Park on Luna as is. It's lazy. But if they did add grandest Monster Park and it gave a lot more EXP, I would be down to do that on my main at least. I think that would be really nice EXP. And plus, the next area is going to be freaking level 290 if they add another hunting ground. 290? Bro, how many people in this game are even 285? I just hit 285 on my Dark Knight. I just made it to Carcion, and the thought of me having to train with double the required EXP to level up and then another 10% every level until 290 is frightening. That's horrible. So a level 290 area, yeah, that's not happening yet, but at the same time, they really need to improve on getting more daily EXP for players to be able to hit these levels. So I think they're going to add more daily EXP and stuff, so we can hit, or so players are able to hit, you know, the current in-game areas in the game like Carcion and stuff. And then for the people who are already at Carcion, they can continue to work their way towards the level 290 area that will come out in who knows when. And then on top of all the new content that we might potentially be getting, of course, there's going to be some nice new events as well that will help out a lot with EXP progression. Events they've been doing a really good job with EXP events. I was initially worried because after New Age, they had announced that they were going to stop doing haste events, and I got like really upset. But what they've been doing so far is actually not that bad, because they're releasing a couple events that give out these like boosters similar to the haste boosters. They give out like 10 a day, pretty easy to get. You get 3 a day for free, and then the rest come from mob drops, although they're kind of sort of rare from monsters. It's like one of those other rec server beneficial things, because when they drop from mobs, they're tradable and you can sell them to other players, and they are actually decently cheap if you do plan on selling them to other players. So rec server people get that 10 a day out the way pretty fast at a pretty cheap price, so it's been good for me so far. Not really too much of me on Reboot, though. I've really been grinding on Reboot, so all the boosters that I've been getting from the previous event that we just got, they've all just been piling up, and I still haven't used any at all. They've also been giving out a lot more 3x coupons lately from events, and I hope they continue to do so. I think this following event will have things like 3x coupons, an EXP skill. They might even bring back boosters, but they might need to think twice about having an EXP skill and boosters on the map, because they will probably think that's a bit too broken. I think we're still going to get more EXP mini games. I give EXP tickets, you know, another type of food storage event. Maybe this time the mobs will scale past level 219 for EXP, because if you don't know how food storage works right now, if you level past level 219 in food storage, that's the highest EXP the mobs give. They will no longer give any more EXP leveling up past 219, but you're able to access the area up to 259. So no matter how much you go in there with like a rune, EXP buffs and everything, generally speaking, you'll probably get around 10 billion EXP, which could be a decent amount in the 220s, but in the 250s, if you're still getting 10 billion a run, that's like 3%. 2-3%. That's not good. So maybe they'll actually make that scale, have people hit 260 a little bit faster than usual, and all that stuff. And then the event Punch King, the Giga Punch King that we got during Minor Picnic that we did once a week, and we got like a trillion EXP from. Absolutely insane. So yeah, just a bit, winter update, just 6 job stuff that I mentioned before. The new system of Monster Life coming, the new bosses. A new boss will be very likely. I do not think they will release 2 in-game bosses. I think they could release a mid-game boss and an in-game boss. They could release a mid-game boss or 1 in-game boss, and that's it. It's either going to be one or the other, or if they're feeling real generous for us, they'll release 2 bosses in this patch. But I'm not sure they had enough time to work on 2 bosses, and I think that is all the content we will see, generally speaking, from this winter update. Not as big as New Age, of course. New Age was massive, but I think it'll still be pretty nice. And then event-wise and quality of life stuff to help out with more EXP gain, to help everybody just level up. Help people who aren't in Carcion get to Carcion, and then help the people who are in Carcion reach 290 for the upcoming area whenever they decide to release that. So again, Showcase is in the description. My stream is in the description. It might be bugged with the URL. There's like these weird special characters at the end. You just gotta like erase those, backspace those, and then you'll get to my page. It should be all good. I was trying to figure out how to fix that, but I feel like I never could. And if it works now, then thank goodness. But that is going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope we have an amazing showcase tonight. I cannot wait to report back about what's about to happen to the game.